Alright, so peeps, now for game number 2, Tron vs Heliod Combo. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so this is game number 2. I'm gonna kind of go through this one a little bit faster. I'm gonna focus more on my opponent's deck here a little bit more, just because I realized in my last video, if you don't know what Heliod Combo is, I didn't explain it very well what it does. So, since my opponent's deck is extremely consistent, I'll be able to give that commentary this time around. Okay. So, of course, he's gonna play first here. And since I know what deck he's playing, I don't keep that hand. I do not keep that hand again. I still don't keep that hand. Still don't keep this hand. And I'm like, okay, I'm lucky. I have 2 pieces of Tron. And then I know I have to pretty much dump everything else. So let's see. Karn is gone, Liviana is gone, Karn is gone, and Forest is gone. And that's what my starting hand is here. So my opponent plays a Prismatic Vista. He taps it to sacrifice it to go find a basic land. In this case, he finds a forest and attaches Utopia Sprawl to it. Utopia Sprawl is an enchantment. Whenever you tap enchanted land, you could add 1 extra mana of whatever color you chose when enter the battlefield. And then he went ahead, pass it to my turn, so play a piece of Tron, play a Sphere. By the way, the only thing my Sphere does is I tap 1 mana, or I tap it to sacrifice it, and it costs me 1 colorless mana. I get to add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool, and I get to draw a card as well. So turn 2 for my opponent, and they play Conclave Mentor. Honestly, for me, Conclave Mentor wasn't registering because I don't play life gain combos very often, so I don't know. I didn't know it was probably one of the better cards that just got added that makes Heliod Combo extremely good and consistent. So what this card does is whenever a counter would be put on a permanent, you put that many plus 1. So if you're going to add 1 counter, you would add 1 plus a second counter. If you're going to add 2, you would end up adding 3, because you'd add 2 plus an additional 1. Now let's see. Still the same turn here. Turn number 2 for my opponent. They went ahead and played Arbor Elf. Turn number 2 for me. I drew a Sylvan Scrying. Of course, I played my tower here, sacrificed my Chromatic Sphere, added green mana, casted Sylvan Scrying to go look for my last piece of Tron, which is the power plant. Passed it back to my opponent, and my opponent goes ahead and plays Heliod Suncrown, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's pretty much got the combo assembled at this point. And then I saw him play Spike Feeder, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's got this game. So what Spike Feeder is it comes out as a 2/2 creature, or it's a 0/0 creature technically, with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Now, if you remove a counter from Spike Feeder, you can go ahead and gain, what is it, 2 life, 3 life? Remove a counter. Okay, remove a 1/1 counter, you gain 2 life. So every counter you remove, you gain 2 life. So the goal is this. You remove a counter from Spike Feeder, so you gain 2 life. Heliod Suncrown says that whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. And then Conclave Mentor over here says that whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counter would be put in the creature. Put that many +1. So the goal here is to gain life by removing a counter, put the 1/1 counter on Spike Feeder, and it turns into 2 counters. So now Spike Feeder is at 3. And then repeat the process, but this time put the counter on Conclave Mentor. But now Spike Feeder will still have 2 counters on it, so remove another counter and gain life. And then put the counters back on Spike Feeder. Put Spike Feeder back at 3 again. So basically it's an infinite combo if you have all 3 of these pieces out. So my opponent did this for a while. And kept doing the same thing for a while. And then I'll just go ahead and play the rest of this turn because it's just a bunch of triggers happening over and over here. So my opponent ended up messing up their combo. Now, if you all have not played with the Magic Online software, it's not the greatest on earth. So because of that, I completely understand, accidentally skipping through your turns or accidentally clicking the wrong thing. In this case, my opponent clicked on Conclave Mentor accidentally when he meant to click on Spike Feeder, which stopped his combo from going off. And then I told him in the chat, I was like, I'm going to concede regardless because I realized that he had an infinite combo there. So he won the game. But I just told him, you know what, I just want to go ahead and see what I draw, because if I had drawn something like a Karn Great Creator, I might have been able to stop him from attacking me after this. But the fact that I didn't draw it, it's a game. Anyways, even if I had it, I still already said I was going to concede, so the agreement was already made that this is a game that he won because he managed to pull his combo off at a faster pace than I was trying to pull my combo off. But I think at this point he didn't quite know exactly what my combo was yet. Alright, so I will see you all back here for game number 3, which is the best of all the games in my opinion.